Hello, America. You know, it's really hard. It's really hard to come to a point in our relationship as Americans. We've gotten to a point where everybody wants to feel safe. Everybody wants to feel secure, and it is blowing our minds that these killers, these mass shooters, are just so elusive, so just able to hide in plain sight. They live down the hallway at Bob and Mary's house, or Bob and Mary's son, who we've known for years. He's kind of strange, but we never really figured him for a killer. And so we're unable to piece together. Quantico can't put together a profile on these people. Ever since Columbine, 30 years, we still haven't been able to put enough intel together to put up a profile to say, hey, if they're doing this, this, and this, and surely they're getting ready to shoot up a school or do some mass killing. It's hard to find a profile on these guys. It's really hard. We had that one exception to the rule where somebody here recently thwarted a possible mass shooter situation. I applaud them. Hats off to them. And I'll tell you what, it's gonna be tricky trying to stop these guys. And the reason being is because they are just a chameleon. They're so able to adapt to their immediate environment. You know, we look at these guys that do this, and almost every one of them, to a certain degree, has had some sort of aloofness and some sort of weirdness in their life. But you can't look at every kid that's weird, because how every kid in America has a degree of weirdness to them. Every person, if you look at them long enough, has something in their life that just is kind of out of the ordinary, kind of different. But here's what I would suggest for parents. If you have school-age kids that are 17, 16, that you have some sort of degree and still have some kind of control over, because Lord knows these kids nowadays, what do you do when you have a 10-year-old that weighs 160 pounds? How do you get control over that? And I would say this: the shooters now are going to be busy with the hidden life that they have. They're going to be busy. If your child has a room that he's able to lock himself away in, if it seems and appears that he's been spending X amount of time over the last year or so, at certain times, you got to just really pay attention to this now. After these mass shootings, these kids that are planning to become the next killer, they're ready to preparing to spring from cover. Understand this: these live mass shooters that are lying in wait, they are not predators. They do not have an appetite that they're trying to satisfy, to appease. They're not hunters. They're not killers. They're not going out there like a lion looking out after the gazelle, because the lion kills the gazelle because it's hungry. It wants to feed. That's not true with these live mass killers. They're not even killers yet. They've never killed. Most of them, if not all of them, have never been in a war situation. They've never soldiered. They've never been on the firing line. They've never taken fire from an enemy. They've never been on enemy shores, in a desert, in a jungle. They've never had any of that happen. The only thing that they are honing is the mechanics and the skills of the previous killer, the previous shooter. That's why when mass shooters come online and they're killed, the talking heads dissect these guys and go over every nuance, every square inch of their life, from birth, from the crib to the grave, and these mass shooters are sitting there absorbing and fine-tuning their predatory skills. Even though I know they're not predators, but they have a predatory sense, in that they're fine-tuning something that's going to cause the death of many individuals. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to hone those skills. So if you have a kid that is spending a lot of time on the internet, and you're able to go in there and search the internet history and find out that this guy is infatuated with mass shooters, with Klebold, Harris, with all these other lunatics that went before the last shooter, if you find out that he's spending a lot of time in situations like that on the dark web, maybe into some dark things. I'm not saying that everybody that does goth or leans toward wearing black is going to be the next potential mass killer. But look for things like that. They're in their weirdness, which is, probably, I don't know how to say that without seeming mean, but if all of a sudden they're just not that weird anymore, and they just seem to be projecting a a better persona of themselves, and you just go with your gut. Your gut's going to tell you if there's something wrong with your kid. Go with your gut. If there just seems to be something that they seem to be hiding or protecting, go into the room when they're not there. See if they have a suit stuck in a locked file cabinet under the bed or in the closet. See if there's extra clothes that would be dark in nature, or extra, look for vests that might be able to hold. And I know this sounds crazy, but in all honesty, look for the stuff that they would be wearing to commit this next bizarre act of murder. Look for the clues, because if you're looking for the flags, these guys are masters of hiding in plain sight. And how do they hide in plain sight? Simple. They simply act normal as they can act. And if they're acting as normal as they can act, more than likely, brother and sister don't see anything weird. Mom and dad don't notice anything different. Teachers and classmates don't notice anything. He's just, if he's always been aloof and at a distance with just a friend or two, talk to that friend or two and find out if little Bobby's doing something that's just not right. Mom and dad, if you look at your children and you notice that something just seems to be a foul or amiss, and they're not in love, or they didn't get picked for the prom or whatever, there's an underlying thing there, you had to really do your homework. Because I'm telling you, if you're waiting for flags to be thrown up, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be highly disappointed. I'm telling you, because they are masters. They have this journey to this point of extreme violence. There are a million moving parts. It's a multi-labored extravaganza. They have to do a lot of homework on this stuff. They have to fine-tune a lot of their skills. The mechanics of the last killer, they have to study this guy. They have to dissect this guy. So there's going to be evidence of that dissecting and that study. There's going to be evidence of his preparation, whether in the clothing or in his attire. He may even change the way he's been wearing his clothes. He might go into a different mode, start wearing boots or something, and you'll feel something strange. If you really are watching your kid, he might just set up there might be one little thing he does that's just completely out of the ordinary that he doesn't even realize he's doing. And it'll be a flag to you. So look into it. Go into his room. Look in the places that you would, we're not looking for dirty books. We're looking for AR-15s and ammo. And if he's going to Army Navy stores here lately and traveling out of town to do it, because that's what he's going to do. He's not going to do any of his shopping right there in the town that he lives in. I can tell you that much. That much they have understood and have learned. They're going to go across counties or go into the other counties and go into other cities and find the Army Navy stores there and buy the stuff there, the body armor, the vest, the things like that. Find out if that stuff is up under his bed, if it's in a closet, if it's hidden in the tool shed. Do some homework yourself. And above all, the one thing you can probably do more than anything is sit him down and talk to him. See what's reflecting back in his face. Is he much more troubled than he has been, or is he more at peace? Let me tell you, if he's more at peace with life right now, that's a flag. To me, that's a flag, because he's finally finding something that he can relate to, finding something that's giving him purpose and reason and a voice and a position, and taking some of this air out of this vacuum, this void that's in his life. He's found something that he is going to do that is going to give him purpose. All right, that's enough for now. I'm making these videos too long, and we'll pick something else up later. That's enough for now.